got any advice for like young girls who've been inspired by Riot Girls starting bands?
Play a show as soon as possible. Like, you know, really, just like set yourself and be like, we're gonna play in 2 months and we're gonna have 5 songs, and just like work your ass off and get the songs and play before it's any good, and make sure that you have like 40 friends at the show in the front row to just be like, oh my god, whatever you do, you know? And then it's like, it's a pact. Like, you come to there and then you start a band and we'll go and be like, oh my god, in the front row. That's how you do it. What do you play?
No, it's not for me.
Not for you. Aww.
I'm not you.
Yeah.
In terms of what you're saying about with Pretty Riot, like fighting other repressions and being aware of kind of intersectionality, do you feel like some of the things you mentioned about some of the perhaps the fallout of what happened with Riot Girl and looking at like the lack of looking at like race and class as like other factors, that I find that really interesting, but I was wondering if you had a bit more to say about that.
The question is, do I have anything more to say about the thing that I said in the book about it?
That was like a particularly interesting part of it for me. And
yeah.
See the research that you've done and like speaking to people that seems to be like a common thread.
You know, it is, and it's like very, it's huge in the narratives about why the movement faltered. I think that that the issue was half like inadequate analysis or like clumsy working on race, class, blah, blah, blah. And the other half was people taking advantage of that weakness to like exercise their own personal charisma and power. And so like one of the lessons that I wanted to kind of get in the book was like, don't buy that. Like if somebody starts to like use political language to just make you feel like shit about yourself, recognize that that's probably not actually about the politics. And even if they're saying something that in principle you agree with on the political level, if they're behaving in a way that's destructive to the group, like, you know, especially if in this case it's like a white person appointing themselves the spokesperson for people of color and like calling out other white people for why they're fucked up. Like, recognize that like they do not have the power to absolve you or to like brand you the good white person, and it's just, that's just completely destructive. This stuff is hard, and movements, and especially feminist movements, historically, from like the dawn of feminism, have like done it wrong in all kinds of fabulous, horrible ways. And we're never free of the responsibility of like working on it, keeping it in the discussion. Intersectionality as seeing like that it's not about like inclusivity or diversity or like talking about things in addition to gender oppression, like these things are happening all co-imbricated, and there's no way to separate them out. And I think that the way that discourse is going right now is a positive way forward. And I actually feel like people, like when I compare where I and my peers were about thinking about this stuff at 18 to like the people who come to my events now for 18, like people have come a really long way. How do you make that noise? You know, I think the point, and I'm just going to kind of wrap it up on this answer to just say, like, it's very important to work on that, and at the same time, like, make sure that you're working and that you don't be so like freaked out that it's impossible to get it all right that you just like are afraid to say anything. You know, be open to being critiqued and be open to changing and learning, but like be active. Is that a clapping like it's over? Are you tired? Okay. Are there other people? I will get another question from Christian, but